Songwriter Soup.
I had a coffee with Tranny Anderson 7 years ago. I did not one single thing to help her with her career.
Healthy recipes for not losing your mind and your money in the songwriter business.
It's not in my nature anyway to get someone to cut the line because I don't want to cut the line. And I honestly don't think it's good for my career to cut the line.
Okay, welcome to Songwriter Soup. And depending on the order in which you're watching and or listening to these episodes, this might be a totally normal view that you're having, or this might be brand new. I'm on this couch for now.
Sure.
Tracy's over there.
And just in case, Merry Christmas, happy Thanksgiving, Easter, and Arbor Day. It could be, we don't know when this is coming out.
And
that's the truth.
The snow and or
ice,
sunshine,
drought, or
gorgeous.
Incredible.
The weather is something.
Yeah, you might have noticed that there is not another person sitting on that couch. There are three of us today.
That's true.
The OG trio.
It's been a long time.
It's been a long time.
It might have been a year, which is crazy.
Yeah.
Up here.
To have just the three of us having a conversation.
Dare I say we are overdue, my friends.
Yes.
And today is going to be a somewhat of a free-for-all. We have a very tightly produced plan
that we came up with moments ago.
Just now. But I think it's going to be actually a really valuable one where we are crowdsourcing what we're talking about. We're digging into Laura's DMs.
Yeah.
We are going to let her phone just ding and ding away.
Hopefully it dings because I'm excited. I sent out a cute little love message to some friends, some of which are like, it's ranging from songwriters that just got their first deals to famous people. And I just sent a message and just said, hey, we're doing, a Q&A. And people who love the podcast, because that's what I was mainly focused on. So sent out a message. I've got some spouses of, of songwriters.
Titillating.
Yes. Some artists that, I'm just curious to see. And and I've gone through my DMs to kind of collect the old batch that we've said we would answer eons ago, and then we just kind of never did. So this is going to be a nice little catch up.
And they're always good. These are always good to reflect back on all the episodes we've had in the recent past and just kind of pull the nuggets here and there.
Hell yeah.
We've
had some great episodes. Like
the guest list has been so fun.
It's been so incredible. And watching, I'm so thankful to you, Kevin, for making it visual. Like the fact that we've figured out how to make it visual, it is making people listen to the podcast more. Being able to see the guests and see us, and we're so cute, so it makes sense. But thank you for all the work you do.
Oh, hey, come on. It's all just a part of it. And it's been a real collaborative team effort in how it looks and how it feels. And we're constantly, slowly upgrading and refining and all of that stuff. And
I think the grain of the actual clips is evidence of that. Because the first couple of clips were like, who are those people?
Yeah,
it was so fuzzy.
Right.
And then it just, a better camera setting and a better this and a better lighting. And
yes.
Anyway.
I'm teaching myself how to deal with video for the first time in my life.
Because you're a G, man.
Well,
because you're a freaking gangster. And you just said, I don't know, I'll figure it out. And I thank you for that.
Well, yeah. I mean,
we got cameras and
look at us.
That's right.
Fancy lights.
Professionals.
That's right.
We're cuties.
Yeah. So the curtain has been pulled back. Shall we pull back the curtain on what our listeners are curious about?
Yes.
First of all, are there a lot of common questions that you get? Are there things that you find over and over again people are curious about?
Yes. And they've all pretty much been addressed, but I understand you can't listen to 80 episodes of a podcast to search for this one question, but I'm thinking maybe now would be a good time to just kind of scoop them all up, put them in a cute little bowl and digest the answer to the most common question, which is, can I send you a song? And my heart is just lovingly beating at the idea that you care about what I think about your music. But the answer to that question is no. And the reason is because I was not put on this earth to judge songs. That's just, I've been asked to do song contests and all these. The NSAI is always asking me, and the Grammys, they're always asking like, oh, will you do this? You know, I recoil from that feeling every time I think of it. I'm just not meant to tell someone that their song isn't good enough, or it's even if, that it's great. I don't like the feeling of being in the judgment seat. So that is not my mission. That's just not my mission. So I just want to say lovingly, no, you cannot send me songs. And when you do, I do not listen to them for legal reasons and for mainly my mission, which is just, it's not in me to want to pick your song apart.
We've touched on that a little bit. I think I just want to highlight that legal piece. I think we've touched on it in some other episodes, but it is a legal liability. If I send you a song and you listen to it, and then I hear a song you've written 3 years later, and by some notion in my head, it sounds a lot like my song, I can sue you for that song, for that copyright violation. And even if my suit is completely frivolous, I think it's at least $300,000 for you to defend it, probably $500,000
if
to
that,
defend it,
even
if it's frivolous.
I feel like this is something to note in both directions. Because if you send someone your song, and even if you get it in your head, and let's say it's fucking true, let's say it's 100% true, you are looking at a lawsuit that will cost you that amount of money too. So let's
bring the suit.
Yeah, let's spare all of our, there's enough thievery going on in just regular writer rooms, and don't even get me started on how AI is sort of a version of that. But like, let's just spare each other that sort of discomfort. And the last thing I want to do is make somebody feel like that's some sort of indication that I don't think they're great. That's just not it. It's not it. It's not for me. There are people also that send me beats, which I, again, just absolutely adore the idea of, but I have a publishing team for a reason. They are there to decide for me, because frankly, I don't want to think about it, whether I want to write with this person or not. They vet everything before I even get an idea of it. And it's a luxury. I know that, but I've been in the business 20 years, and that's a luxury I really enjoy, is having a team to decide for me whether something is like worth my time. If there's an angle, like, oh, you're right with this person, and that person is going to get the song to this artist. Like, those are all factors in why certain things are on my calendar and certain things aren't on my calendar. It's not about talent most of the time, even though everyone on my calendar is astronomically talented, and so are you. But that doesn't mean that it's all going to fit on a 5-day work week at most. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So don't send me beats. And it's not because I don't love you or think you're amazing. It's just not, I'm going to ignore it. And that makes me feel pain, because we met at an event or something, and you're like, hey, I like you. And I'm like, I like you too. And then a message gets sent and I just don't respond. And I just want you to know that is why. And sometimes I respond with, I did not listen to this because I don't want to be sued by you. Like, sometimes I respond with like legal jargon, which is so dumb. I feel embarrassed about it, but I have to protect myself.
Yeah. And go ahead.
Oh, well, my question about this is then, who can they send these songs
Very
to?
good.
Can I say one more person?
Please,
that
go
can't
ahead.
send it to?
I love that.
Oh, yeah.
Oh my God.
Me. Don't send it to this financial advisor anyway, because it's similar to your thing. If somebody sends me a song, which is hilarious on its face, like, yes, I have a music background. Yes, I work with music people. I love music people. But I am nowhere near the decision tree
that
you're talking about. Nowhere near it. If I took you a song, it'd be hilarious. If I took Mike Molinar, who is the closest to the decision tree.
Sure, which will circle us back to Kevin in a minute.
Yeah, like if I took a song to Mike Molinar, here's what that's doing for me. Like I'm using serious capital that I have no knowledge of. Like I'm holding something that I truly have no understanding of. Is it good? Is it bad? I don't know. I like old time string band music. So is it good? Is it bad? If I hand that to Mike, he's going to not listen to it because he has
uncles and he has son-in-laws who are sending him
all the time.
Yeah, all the time that are also not in the ecosystem at all. They're just like, oh, I think I'll do this person a favor, which I think
it goes back to finding your people.
Yes.
So it goes back to one of our earliest podcasts, chapter 1 of the book or 2. Find your who needs to be listening to your songs. I think was where you were headed.
Yeah, I think that's kind
where
of
do you send them?
Where I was itching towards. Like
I think that's a great focus here.
Who is that? Who needs to be listening? If I'm a brand new songwriter, who needs to be?
Brand new is like maybe operative word here, because brand new, the answer is no one to me. Brand new, the answer is get better. Brand new, the answer is find your people. Sending people your songs is not going to do you any favors at this point. If you feel, there's one writer that comes to mind who sent some songs, which by the way, send songs to publishers. Let me rewind. Publishers are probably the place that you're trying to get an evaluation. There's also NSAI, which is like they will judge your song, which by the way, can hurt you or help you or both. Like, I don't think that that's necessarily, sometimes it's helpful. If you really, really are looking for critique.
Do BMI and ASCAP and CSAC reps listen to songs?
Very interesting. I would guess yes, but I'm going to go ahead and guess it's the, I send them an artist. It's not going to be the person representing themselves. It's going to be someone with clout saying you should hear this, and then they listen to that. If they have a hierarchy, which by the way they do, what are they going to listen to? And they've got 60 people sending them songs on behalf of themselves, and they have 60 people sending them songs, and all of those emails are people they know. They're way more likely, I'm going to go, to listen to the ones where they have some sort of like clout next to the name. Is that fair? No. Is it right? No. But it is how it you know what I mean? Is it like...
know. I don't think that's unfair or...
It's a good point. Not fair. Fair is a wrong word, I guess, but...
I mean, it's like, who are you going to take? But you're like, you, Laura, are giving... You're sort of like presenting a business opportunity in a way. You're giving them a lead on somebody, and because you have a track record,
yes, and they trust me,
and they trust you, then there's an even there's somewhat of a reliability standard there.
That's a great point.
Whereas like completely unsolicited entries from just the entire ether.
Here's what I meant by unfair, and let me break that open. Let's say that 10 of the 60 are technically better, who represent themselves, and they never get heard because they don't have clout around them. I'm saying I'm kind of referring back to like the best song wins thing. Like there are people in that category who are just at an earlier stage that are representing themselves. Is it fair that your song might not get a listen? You're right. But that's what I mean. Like, it is possible that this song is better than this song, or this song is more commercial than this song. But you can't evaluate like someone listening or not listening based on the quality of your work, because then you're going to doubt yourself. That's what I was trying to say. Like, it hurts being rejected. And in my opinion, don't give yourself the opportunity to be rejected,
especially by strangers.
That
like you're setting yourself up for you're hoping that like this is my shot, and they're gonna hear this and be like, where has this kid been my whole life?
Right.
But the reality is either they're not going to listen to it, or they do listen to it and it doesn't meet the standard, or that person's having a bad day or whatever.
Yes.
It's completely out of your hands, and there's no context for why that person might have rejected the thing. And are they going to spare your feelings, because they believe in your potential? No. They have no incentive or like time to do that. So like, I think this is just as a non-songwriter, I would think the best thing you can do is, like you said, improve, but also think about your place in the ecosystem and how much time and energy and effort and deliberate action it takes to build a songwriting career, which is like, be around, like connect with people. There's that's seemingly how most of, at least Nashville seems to have gotten, most of the people in Nashville have gotten to the place where they are. It's like you invest in your community.
It's one step at a time.
One teeny tiny step at a time. And then someone hears a song because you have earned enough goodwill with them for them to be curious about it. Like maybe wait to be asked.
Maybe.
If you had to, in your first, 2 to 5 years in town, if you had to do a pie chart of your time allocation between surviving, writing songs, and, for lack of a better term, I'd call it the hustle, the being around, whatever that is, whether it's going to the writers' rounds or whatever, like, and there may be some other categories. Those are the three that sort of popped into my mind when you were talking. It's a
great question.
How would you
It's a trick question.
Is it?
In a kind of a good way. It's a trick question because I don't want to discourage anyone from hustling, but very little time was spent trying to figure out how to be seen or heard. I was just in my fucking bag. I was having so much fun just writing. And I was trusting, the universe that it would just figure it out. I was around enough people who were like 6 degrees of Kevin Bacon. Do you know what I mean? Like I was just peripherally close enough to kind of get sucked in. When this person made it, that a song got heard. When this person got signed, those songs got heard. Like the mentor that had me kind of move here, Kai Fleming, she was in my periphery. Was she like going out singing, the praises of Laura Veltz? Absolutely not. Was she trying to sell who I was and my awesomeness? No, but I knew somebody who knew a lot of people. And did I go to a writer's round here and there? Sure. But mostly I was just like, just right.
With other people.
And those other people were all in the exact same position as me. And it's a wonder that any of us got through, because none of us really had any connections until one of us had a connection, and that I think that's like almost every stage. And I don't know the town is just it's a powerful place to be, but I wanted to say too, it's like the whole, like, how much of your time, living maybe could be, if you want to trick yourself and call going to writers' rounds, I just want to go see people play songs because I love it, then do it. I going and hanging out at a bar and knowing you're going to bump into, because how can you avoid it? You're going to bump into a songwriter or two. If you want to call that living, then do it. But if you're going out of your like comfort zone and you call that networking or hustling, oh my God, that sounds exhausting. Now, I appreciate that there are people who like can enjoy that hustle too. I'm just not one of those people. So that's what I meant by it's a trick question. It's like, I get that there are people that are like, I'm going to go. And I've seen it work too. It's kind of remarkable when someone is just so likable. Like I have a handful of co-writers in mind who just hung out at Red Door. And they were just like, somebody was like, I like you. We should write. And it happens. You know what I mean? But it just didn't happen to me.
It's who they were, but they were being true to who they were.
Precisely, which is why I mean living.
Yes.
Good old living.
Hanging out is one of the most underrated like life skills for any industry, but especially one that deals with creativity and collaboration.
Yeah.
It's like if you can't hang, then you're probably not long for this particular world.
And to your point, Kevin, like I like who I like, but I'm a lot. Like I don't think I'm a gal who, and there are people who are so good at this, and my whole life I've envied them. Go to a party and you just say, hey, what's your name? What you drinking? Cool. Where are you from? And all those type of, I'm like what's your deepest, darkest, saddest secret? Like, I'm just one of those people that wants to get to the bone like way sooner than I think an average bar experience does. I suck in those settings. And
Same.
I want to speak for people like me who are just like, songwriters are very, emotional beings. And if you can't hang, that you're not cursed. You'll find your people.
That's the truth.
But if we're speaking for Nashville, I feel like I'm the odd man out. There's way more people who are like hunting, fishing, and loving every day, just chilling. And I'm not like a average communicator. I'm somebody who wants to sit around my table and have a earth shifting conversation. And that's not everybody. And I am too much for a lot of people. And that's fine. Go find less. It's fine.
Yeah.
I don't need to be any less. And I've never been able to cosplay less either. I've never been able to like just be like chill, like it's just never been me. And I swear as a kid it used to torture me. I'm like, Laura, just shut the fuck up. Don't say it. And it's like it's just not in the cards for me.
That way.
It's just not. But to your point, and I agree, what a fucking asset to be able to just be joyful. If that's who you really genuinely are, be joyful around people. And the jokes are, average level. You're not going any further in because that makes a lot of people uncomfortable.
I am deeply envious of the person you're describing. And I'm much more like you than I am.
I know you are.
All right. Okay. Chill.
Yeah.
But if you are not that guy, you have to kind of be better probably at reading the room, reading your place in the room, and not trying to overly do the networky, here's my business card, I'm actually so good at songwriting thing, which I think a lot of people miss because there are folks out there who, whether it's in the songwriting world or any kind of business world, who will sell you for profit the idea of selling yourself in an aggressive like way. And I think while there's something to be learned from that and confidence boosting, all that stuff, okay, cool, but just understand that those people have an incentive to sell you something.
Yes.
And you're getting this shit for free, baby. So just keep that in mind.
Well said. Actually, that brings me to the other common question I get, which unless you want to...
I got one more.
Keep going. We'll circle back again.
For the introverts out there, because for me, I can't talk very loudly. So I can't... Bars are terrible.
God bless me with a booming voice and no interest
and I just got the bar. Voice
you got the voice
gone.
That's hilarious.
But early on, probably 8 years into my career, I had the very good fortune of being able to partner with ASCAP to sponsor these #1 parties, which obviously for me was an amazing thing. But I didn't want to present. Like I just wanted to say, hey, we'll be a part of it. And I remember distinctly when you were talking, it reminded me distinctly the first #1 party. I knew one person in the room. And I was I'm a complete introvert and big, I'm just not going to make the rounds. I don't know how to do it. So I met my one person and had a great conversation and left.
You cried, hugged,
went deep and left.
Oh man.
But
we are very
after about a
the same.
year, we did that for a year. And after a year of that, lo and behold, I knew everybody in the room.
And that is a real thing, especially if you are genuinely who you are.
That's my point.
I
Just
think everyone gets everyone gets the itch of someone who's in the room selling. There's people who do that so naturally you don't even know you're being like advertised to.
Yeah.
Love those people there. Jesus. Oh, Mike calling. He's not asking us a question, but I just want to let everyone know.
Songs.
He wants something.
I'm just kidding. Sorry, Mike.
But I left that on because it'll be fun to get questions, but none so far. They all came in early. They knew that we started at 8:30. We'll see if we get any stragglers. But that yuck of just knowing someone is coming at you with something is so yucky. I don't think there's anyone who loves that feeling. So that might just be like sort of a failure to launch in a way. Like you're not wired to do it, but you're trying to do it and it comes off icky. So don't do it. Just meet the one person you know and let osmosis,
it will happen.
It will
just
happen
like
eventually.
It happened as your crew started breaking through.
Yes.
I feel like it's similar to that story.
Yeah.
Of like, I don't know anybody.
Yeah.
This feels awkward.
Also, I think just in general that can build a stronger, longer lasting sort of foundation for your career or your life or whatever. Because, your career in this world kind of is a big part of your life. I mean, it kind of is your life.
It is life at that stage.
Well,
for
it's
any startup
and
business.
Yeah.
You're all in.
Yes.
All in. And I think people are waiting. I noticed this in the early years of doing this. People were sort of waiting that I knew. We're still waiting to see, is this real? Like, are you going to stay in this? And I think, I imagine a publisher would be thinking the same
100%.
thing. Like, do you live here? Are you, not that you have to, but, and there's another question.
There's one. That's going to be one. That was one I was hoping for. Okay, go ahead. Okay.
So there's people around.
I gotta turn the volume down though. It's like I'm like just fucking. Hold on and volume down. Okay, go ahead. Sorry.
There are people that are in your sphere probably who are asking themselves, even if they're like a co-writer, is Laura in it for the long haul? Am I gonna? Is this co-write like? Are we going to write again next week? And the next week, and the next week, and the next week, and write all these songs that'll never get heard, and that's okay.
Yes. It's that those are huge variables that I think come with this job, and we've talked about them at length, but even that, like, that whole networking part of this job is so tender. Because even that, like, am I going to write a song with her? Will it turn into more than one? Is it going to be a hit? I mean, it just turns into so many questions. And quite literally. And like you have to let go of some of those things. And again, people can smell it. Like this desperation.
So we underline the numbers.
Yes.
Regularly. Like how many songs you write that never even get heard.
100%. I had a song meeting the other day and I went back all the way back. And I was just like, how the hell has this not been recorded? How? And my whole team is like, I know. We've been pit. And then I love when Hannah Babbitt says, I don't think this artist has been signed yet. I just feel so much like, oh, that's nice. They're just a baby. They're not here yet. This song will match them years from now, and I go,
I get it.
Do you know what I mean? This artist hasn't been
the artist
signed.
hasn't been found yet.
Yes,
for
and in
this
fact,
song.
This brings me back to the thing I told you that I heard in a video today, and it made my brain just. Someone was talking about writing songs, and they were saying passive income in perpetuity, like the idea that you get to make a commodity that just stays alive for as long as forever. And it might be worth nothing. And then suddenly something like that's songwriting. I just thought that was so cool. Passive income in perpetuity. And passive is maybe a loaded word, but the feeling of like you're investing. These aren't buildings that can be torn down. They are living things, and you never know. We're veering off so hard.
No.
I'm like, are we good? Okay.
Yeah. I use the Mike Molinar story of me meeting you all the time with young clients who are going, "What? Am I writing the right thing?" And when Mike said to me, like,
Tracy says, "Send me your songs, and I'll send
me your songs. I'll analyze them for you."
God, no.
Please, no. I don't know anything. But that experience of like Nashville's isn't ready for Laura yet. And that was his quote to me.
And I have so many co-writers that fit that description where I'm just like, just you wait.
Just keep, and you're giving them the same advice that we're giving right now. Keep doing what you do, refine it, work on it, put effort into it. And meet the people you meet.
Love what you're doing. And don't chase things that you think are valuable. Like, be stoked. Like, whatever's going to make you stoked is probably the thing that's going to make you money. Like, and maybe not all of your songs. Sometimes the real shit ones end up making you money. But my point is like, even still, even if you're writing those 199 songs to get to that one that is the hit, that's going to be it's going to keep you in the game longer. Just whatever lights you up, you know? I was going to circle back to the other question. But
yes, please.
Should I do it?
Let's hear it.
Okay. Well, the other question is, I listened to your podcast and I love you and I love Tracy and I love Kevin.
How do I pay you $1 million to keep doing it forever? Sorry. Was that it?
That was it.
Okay.
Can we have coffee? Can I sit down and pick your brain? And I want each of you to know, another question. I want each of you to know that I would like nothing more than to sit down and have a cup of coffee with every single one of you. I love this conversation. And if I could sit down with every new songwriter and just get real, like particular and specific and have this conversation like that, I would do it. I just can't because of time. And I just want...
Which is why we are here.
Which is
right
why this...
now.
Precisely.
Like, that's why this exists.
Yes. So if you're asking me that, my guess is you haven't listened to the podcast. You've seen a couple clips. The podcast is for you. It's for you. And all of these questions, like when I just went through our titles recently and I was like, dear God, we go hard. We talk about what happens when we die. We talk about wills. We talk about insurance, like all the stupid, annoying shit. We talk about that. And then all the Fruit Loopian, loosey-goosey stuff. It's all here. Like this podcast is the gift that we are giving to the songwriting community as best we can. And then this episode is a continuation. If we're missing questions that we haven't quite hit, like we'll keep doing Q&As and try to address them. But just know, I would love to have coffee with you. I'd love it, but I can't. I just can't. I can't do it because I have children. I can't do it because my time is limited, but I would love to.
Also, I would say it's tempting as a person who is really trying to dig into this stuff and like be the best version of themselves in this world or whatever, to go straight to the top, right? Which is Laura and the people in your echelon. But it's not always going to give you the kinds of... It's no substitute for experience,
Right.
and the slog of it. And, are there ulterior motives that are like very close to the surface of like, well, if she likes me enough, maybe she'll want to write with me or whatever. I mean, that's my sort of cynical take. And if you're just after Laura or anybody for information, that's what this is for. If it's for something else, then you need to sort of question your motives. And I think, I will, and I'm not saying you are questioning them, but I will do it for you. I will question them on your behalf.
I think there's something to what you're saying. I feel like songwriters are such like touchy-feelies, and I have said yes in the past when I had more time, and they've been wonderful conversations, but I want you to know, full stop, I did nothing to make those careers take off. I had a coffee with Tranny Anderson, 7 years ago. I did not one single thing to help her with her career. All in terms of getting her in a door. I didn't make a fucking phone call. I didn't call my publisher. I had never heard her songs. I never heard her songs. I didn't even listen to her songs. I heard her hits years later. So my point is like the coffee was great, and I helped with some silly, stupid shit like when to sign, maybe when not to sign, what to look for, some jargon. But that's what this podcast is for. Yeah. But I want you to know I didn't do her any favors. She did that on her own, and I'm not. It's not in my nature anyway to get someone to cut the line, because I don't want to cut the line, and I honestly don't think it's good for my career to cut the line. So to your point, I don't want it to be like you have motives that are whatever, but low key, maybe a little.
Well, let's replace motives with like hopes and dreams.
Totally.
Maybe they don't even fully have them formed but
yes,
maybe I'm projecting too, because I remember when I was not employed in this business, when I was, I don't know, in my early 20s, cold calling, cold emailing, just names that I had heard of who I knew lived in Nashville. And plenty of them were like kind enough to have, lunch or a coffee with me. And I relish those. I really appreciate those moments. But like, again, nothing came of those things in particular. And I was genuinely seeking just some sort of like broad, here's what you do, here's what you don't do sort of stuff. But in the back of my mind, at the very least, I was like,
call out. I mean,
what if he thinks I'm special?
Yes.
What if they think that
100%.
I'm like actually really cool, and that they're looking for someone who want to give them
totally
a job?
Did this too. I've had those coffees and gone, what if they say, you should come and write with me and so, and like some artists.
What are you doing right now?
I know. And honestly, maybe that does happen, but my God, that is a long shot.
Well, I've got a little story for this one.
Oh boy.
Man,
let's go.
That comment just brought up some memories. 1993, just graduated college, had a friend in Chattanooga, my dad's age, who knew people in Nashville. This is, it's jumping the line. They said, hey, by the way, I had written 10 songs. Okay, let's be clear. Back to the practice, right? And he got me, I think it was Ronnie Millsap's publisher. Like a serious meeting, a serious bring your guitar and play songs. And let me tell you, I still have, like when you were talking just now, I was getting hot flashes.
Stress.
Oh.
And I'm going, because I was completely unprepared, right? I had my 10 songs, none of which were great. And I really didn't know. I didn't even know where I was going. I didn't know who I was walking into. I didn't know the lay of the land. Didn't have friends supporting me. Didn't have anybody telling me like, hey man, when you go in and play a song, make it a banger.
Play the ballad. What?
Yeah. Right?
Yeah, whoops.
And I'm telling you, that will stick with you.
Yeah.
If it's premature.
And it's traumatic. It is traumatic sometimes.
And he was nice. And
sometimes they're not nice. That's the other thing. It's like, you don't eat.
But I knew he hated it. He was, my point there is like, I knew.
That's funny.
Like, can I
get out of my house?
I did that dude a favor. Now get out. I can tell him I did him a favor.
Right.
And I just want to rewind back to why this podcast exists.
Yes.
It's missional. I have had to not defend this. I've had to explain this recently to some folks. at an institutional level about how important this podcast is.
Were they trying to go, so what's in it for you, Tracy? How much are y'all making? Because you were like, we're in the red, my guy. There's no reason.
Is this your marketing endeavor?
Exactly.
No, not really. This is a mission that we came up with to supply, to share as much information as we can about how to navigate the creative space, to know the ins and outs, so that there's only one of each of us, and there's a lot of stuff we need to uncover.
Yeah.
That has been covered for a long time, not by any nefarious reason. It just exists that way.
It just happened.
It's just the way a creative industry works to me.
I agree.
And we had an opportunity and an idea to go, hey, let's pull the curtain back and let's share it. For advisors, I hope there are advisors listening to this, working with creative people. That would be my pinnacle. If somebody said, man, I started working with entertainers of some kind. For you, it's like songwriters understanding what they're getting into, the reality of it, the hope of it.
It's also auxiliary music industry people that understand how their decisions affect songwriters. When I hear, like, I know Beth Laird is so sweet. We should honestly have her on. She's amazing.
I would love
But she
to have Beth
makes
on.
it quite clear to me that she listens to this podcast. And when I think about the fact that a publisher is listening to these conversations, there's a huge amount of satisfaction with that.
Yes.
Label people, it would be so sick if artist managers and label people were listening to this, so they understand what this stuff feels like, because it's stuff you wouldn't maybe not think about when you're just kind of chugging along and doing your side of the music industry's thing, So
So in the business world, we're trying to scale ourselves because there's only 3 of us, and we're trying to make this as much information as we can, get it out there.
And it's nice to know, I think, that we're already hitting our community. I think we've hit them. We've got them, and that just makes me so happy. I mean, if you're out there listening, and thank you, because it's so neat to me that we've got our community. And I'm guessing it'll be more communities as time goes on, because like songs, this isn't fucking going anywhere. It's going to be there forever,
Let's get to some of the dings, shall we?
Yes, let's do it.
Let's get a ding.
Yeah.
Oh my. Where do I begin? Let's do some light ones, and then, because there's some heavier ones. Okay, I have a great question. And another one. When is it appropriate to take out an advance from ASCAP or BMI?
Let me ask you a couple of questions that you probably know the answer to. When you take an advance from BMI, whose money is it?
Mine.
When you take an advance from BMI, what is the interest rate they charge you for providing you that advance?
0. The answer is as often as possible. As much as possible.
I'm not giving anybody financial advice right now, but I'm just saying that if you had a 0% advance on your money that is that they know you've earned. The important part here is
it's just delayed.
How they know this, I don't know. Well, we should have somebody in to let us know that. So they're looking down the road. They're thinking, here's a song that's number 1
here's what you're good
or on
for,
the chart. You're good for this. I'm sure there's buffers. And they're willing to advance that. Now, last question. What happens to the income that you receive from BMI or ASCAP or CSAC after you take the advance? That you would have, that quarterly money that comes from that song.
It doesn't come in because you get it in advance.
Yes.
That's literally textbook advance.
There you go.
But when you have your money figured out, and you know that you already know, I'm going to make this much money in December. I think I'm going to take it in January. If you have your shit understood, that's just a great thing to have. If that makes you spend more, and then December cometh and you are fucked, then maybe advances aren't for you. But
Right.
for me, I'm somebody who says, two in the hand, terrible analogy, but like sort of like if it's in my hands, that means I can invest it. I can spend it on what I want. I can allocate it here and there. I'm like a take it in advance whenever you can kind of a gal. But the truth of it is, you have to be good for it. I think that's another thing. It's like, and it might be, kind of sobering to be like, hey, knock, knock, BMI, how much can you advance me? And they say X amount. And you're like, whoa, okay, that's a little less than I thought. That's also good information to have. So I'd say all the time, anytime, do it. That's my vote on it.
The math is good. Let's just say that, depending on your situation and who you are, the math is pretty good. It's a pretty good service.
I think so too. And it's one of the benefits of having a PRO. There are some challenges there. And
I would encourage, like you said, think through what that means from a cash flow standpoint, understand that does go away, that they're recouping that as that song pays out.
Yes.
And that you need to budget accordingly. And
yes.
And
sick. I love it. Another question. Do you set aside dedicated time to listen to or study new music? This person is saying they have a 5, song work week and their brain is so musiced out that it's hard to keep up with the popular releases. I want to answer this in a
I've always wondered this too.
Yeah, I mean,
do you get my cup overfloweth sort of situation of like, whew, I am done with music.
This is sort of a to taste thing. I think this is about there's no hard rule about what to do. I have in my head, and Amy Allen answered this question publicly, so I'll say, Amy Allen said she doesn't listen to any popular music at all. She's doing fine. She is doing great, in fact. She's Songwriter of the Year 2 years in a row. She has umpteen hits. She's amazing. She's not taking in the feedback of today to make her art. I work very differently. I fucking love listening to music. And sometimes I'm a verse chorus gal. Sometimes I'm just like, I want to know what that is. Okay, skip. I know what that is. Skip. I know what that is. Skip. I don't need to sit there and, be cooking and, having a musical experience. The music reserved for those moments are music that I already know because my brain wants to rest.
That's resting.
That's resting
when you know
to me.
The music.
Listening to the same, it's probably 10 albums. I listen to the same 10 albums when I want to rest.
Yes.
But I still love music, But actually, it's so
You're helping me feel not as guilty right now. I want you to know. Because I have a thing, especially with my boys, don't be skipping songs. And I'll find myself listening to a new song and want to skip it. And now I'm feeling a lot better.
I think you should. You're a professional.
It's the rest.
Yes.
It's the rest. Because to my 10 albums, I can listen to and just be like, oh, soak it. It's like a warm bath.
Totally.
And the other ones are like, I don't really like
I'm learning. Yeah. I feel like what I'm learning is, song structure, angles, the angular way that we approach songs. Sometimes I'm like, got what you did there. Boop. To me,
and filed it away.
Oh, that's interesting. Or beats. I fucking love listening to beats. I was just about to say, I'm so sad because Sirius XM had a TikTok station that they just for some reason canceled. It was probably because I was the only fucking listener. But I loved that they compiled the sounds that people are obsessed with on TikTok and just put them on a radio station. It kind of skipped having to be on TikTok for me, and now I'm back to listening.
The latest sounds, the latest sound design.
I mean, by way of 1 week old. You were getting I loved it. And my daughter and I were flipping and they were like, it's gone. Why is it gone? Because it was so educational for me. And again, with XM, something else you can do is you can skip. If you hear, you can skip too. Yeah. Sometimes I'm just I'm good. I get it. And now sometimes, I've said this a million times, you can learn from songs you hate. And I don't love every song, but I always have something, there's always something to learn.
Yeah.
Realizing, sometimes country music is really repetitive and I want to love all of the songs, but I don't. And I'm waiting to hear the ones that make me feel like something's shifting because I like when music reinvents itself. And obviously the nature of country music is not necessarily to reinvent itself. It's to slowly, it's all very slow. It's purposeful, it's like, and I think that there's an art form to that too. But all that to say, if I've heard the same angle on a song, I'm like, I don't need to re-listen to how, beer rhymes with, wow, that was a bad example. What does beer rhyme with? More like, whatever, bar. Bar is, all the words that rhyme with bar. I'm like, oh, wow, we've done it again. Yeah, there they all are.
We're back.
Yeah. And it's fine. Sometimes people reinvent those things just enough, and I want to know how they did it because it gets filed away in my little brain. But does
Y'all
that
do
mean
like your tricks? I love the little terms and
they're
tricks
amazing.
that are in country music.
Amy Wadge calls it like the Nashville bow. It's like you tie it at the end, and it's it's perfect. It's a perfect little poem. All that to say, there's no hard fast rule. Listen to music. Don't listen to music. You're tired of listening to music. Stop listening to music. And just real quick, do you have to go?
We got about 6 to 8 minutes.
Your mouth.
We can
okay.
let's rapid fire these.
Rapid fire.
And
news, also part 2 of this shit.
We're going to part 2.
The good news is we've got more trios coming because we got a lot more to talk about. Just saying.
Yes, we do.
This is a great question. How do you think songwriters and producers running a label is different than how non-creative executives run a label? And what are the benefits and what hurts the artist in those 2 different scenarios?
Ooh,
that's a big question.
Man, can I speak to this? Because I don't know anything about the industry. I'm the most industry naive person you'll ever meet who works in the industry. The only person, my only connection to this is that I used to work for Kyle Lenning, who is a fantastic producer and engineer. Has had a very long career, and for a while I came along after this, but for a while he ran Asylum Records, and all that I remember of him talking about that was, man, I ain't doing that shit anymore. And if you know Kyle, it's a perfect impression. I think I think generally as a rule, those people think that they want to do that, or they get flattered into it, or they get begged to do it, or whatever.
Yes.
And they think that bringing about that kind of leadership change will, steer the thing in the right direction, and maybe it will. But my summary of what I've seen from a distance is that the best thing you can hope for is a non-creative who is compassionate in that role. That's my take on it. Take it away.
I love that, and I agree.
And I think it's true in all lines of business. In the sense of, I could relate to that in a big way. And being an advisor and a CEO, essentially, which is HR, which is HR, which is CFO role, like all that stuff to me takes away from the one thing that I actually love to do. And you're gifting in one role does not, just because you're good at what you do in one role does not mean that all of a sudden you ought to hit this role. Doesn't mean you shouldn't necessarily, but it just doesn't mean that you're naturally going to be like, oh, well, I mean, you're a great producer and engineer. You should definitely run a label. It is not.
They're not transferable necessarily.
A classic example in our world was you'd take a really good advisor and make him a manager of advisors. And sometimes they're great, sometimes it's a train wreck. I don't know how a creative, I'm sitting here imagining you stepping into that role and thinking, feels like it'd be soul sucking to me.
It's not just soul sucking. And I want to give credence to the fact that of how it affects me, but I want to zero in on the part of the question that says, how does it affect the artist? Because to me, that's the risk, is a songwriting room is this beautiful little incubator that says, here's a 3-minute piece of art. Go fly, my prince. You know what I mean?
It's like the safest place on Music Row.
I say it all the time. It's the safest place an artist can be. signing, critiquing, and dropping an artist, the idea that that could ever be what a songwriter does, to me, is almost counterintuitive to songwriting, period. Your job is to provide pieces of things to sell, so to speak, if we're being like quite literal.
Mm-hmm.
The idea that I am suddenly in the position of judging an artist's humanhood, because it really is a lot of that. And like labels have to be, they have to think about packaging. They have to think about, is the art right? They have to think about, is this person a good interviewer? They need, what is it?
Media training.
Media training. Like the idea that you are it's the same reason why I don't judge songs. I don't want to judge anybody. And I feel like songwriters, that's not our job. Our job is to meet people exactly where they are and figure out what they want to say that day. The idea that you could just transfer into a different role is risky for a few reasons. And the main one is that you are no longer that safe place. But also, the thing that I would just be up at night, I would be up at night and I would just be tossing and turning is the idea that this person has hitched their dreams to me. And what I used to be was a dream creator for them. And now I'm a dream maker or crusher. Like that is the thing that I just feel like it is a risky choice. And I think it's done from a standpoint of trying to make money. I really do think at the end of the day that most songwriters are like, I could have a different source of income. I could get some points because unfairly, songwriters don't get master points. And if that would shift, I bet there'd be a whole lot less songwriters going, I think I'll be a record label executive or a, other things that earn points, an A&R person or, all those things. I feel like this has to do with shortage. And I feel like if songwriters were paid properly, the draw to be in other parts of the industry just wouldn't be that enticing.
Can I just say, how dare you address the root cause of a problem? I mean, that is not hilarious. What we're here to do.
How dare you?
I was trying to get one more question in that would be like a fun, let's go out on this and give a quippy, snappy answer.
Quippy, snappy.
But it turns out Laura's friends are just too thoughtful.
They're too thoughtful. How about I end with a question for Tracy and then we'll call it?
Was it?
In a world of tremendous uncertainty.
Thanks for the easy one.
Just in 20 seconds or less.
Oh my goodness.
How do sole proprietors prepare their hearts for the possibility of turmoil financially? Just a quickie.
Okay, start the clock. Boy, that's a big question. I think I'm gonna tease.
Okay.
Part 2.
I love it.
And I'm going to tease it like this. I think we are in times of, we kind of always are in times of turmoil, aren't we? Today feels particularly, or this last couple of weeks feel particularly that way. And I think you just have to think, what are you doing? Like I always, when we're sitting together, I'm always thinking about what makes you have a good day.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? You create something, you play it for somebody.
Yeah. Simple.
And I think in times of turmoil, I'm not dancing around the question. I think this is true. That is where it's at because we have no control over that turmoil. So here's my tease for episode 2, because we got to get into this because it's one of my favorite subjects. There's this fella that I'll call Mr. Market that Benjamin Graham created in 1949, wrote this great book, Intelligent Investor. And Mr. Market, as I was telling you earlier, Warren Buffett calls him a drunken psycho. And Mr. Market will, any given day, he's super high and just, full gas. And any given day, he's super low and just on the floor, completely 180. And that is the stock market in a nutshell. Now, you have the choice to engage with that or not. And that's where emotion comes into investing, because you can get sucked up by that euphoria or sucked down by the, oh my goodness, it's over.
Yeah.
But we have a choice.
Mm-hmm. I like that.
There's the tease.
What I heard was start a meme coin, sell that, pull the rug. That's what I heard. Y'all, sorry for the abrupt ending here, but
we gotta go.
There's too many questions and we gotta go.
And we have I'm really excited about that long list that you've got on your phone of like cool, deep.
I mean, there were a lot of dings. Let's be real. That was a whole lot of dinging. Questions.
It was ringing when you walked in, ringing when you sat down.
Well, I thank you for your time, both of you. I love these these triad episodes. Really do something for me. So, thank y'all for listening and the comments, the subscribes, the shares, yada yada yada, blah blah blah.
That's the most professional CTA I've ever heard. We'll see you next time.
Bye.
Bye.